So welcome, Josh Mandel.
Hi, good evening. This working? Yep. Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Josh Mandel. I am the counsel to the Criminal Practice and Policy Division for your District Attorney, Melinda Katz. I'm here with Sergeant Gomez, Officer Tovar from the 114 Precinct, and we're here to give you an update on one of the District Attorney's most successful initiatives that's actually been successful because many of you in the room is the Queens Merchants Business Improvement Program. So for those of you who are not familiar with it, the Queens Merchants Business Improvement Program began in June of 2021 as a pilot program in the 103 precinct. It was then expanded to the 114 precinct and the 109 precinct last spring. And because of the success that we experienced here in Astoria and in Flushing and Jamaica, this past August, the district attorney expanded the program borough-wide. Essentially what it is a program at the moment to combat retail theft, which is plaguing this borough and plaguing this city. What it allows the police department to do, and the sergeant and the officer will comment on it shortly, is allows us to serve recidivists with trespass notices. So this is not in lieu of an arrest. This is in conjunction with an arrest. The police department maintains statistics that there are a couple hundred individuals that are responsible for between 85 to 90% of the petty larcenies and grand larcenies in the city. A very small percentage of the people victimizing a very large population of our business community. So what the trespass program allows is for the police department to serve these recidivists with trespass notices. And what that means is that when these recidivists return to that location, before they've even committed another crime, they are guilty of trespass. And so that whether you're a mom and pop operation or you're a large retailer, you can call 911 and have those individuals rearrested before they've done a thing other than stepping inside of your business. It's been immensely successful as a deterrent. So since the outset of the program, 315 stores borough-wide have registered with the initiative. 322 defendants have been served with trespass notices. Only 20 individuals have been rearrested for going back to the locations for which they were barred. So as the district attorney would say, that means 295 people got the message that their presence in those locations were unwanted, unwelcome, and unlawful. On the flip side, from the law enforcement perspective, what that also allows us to do is stop the revolving door of crime when it comes to petty larcenies. So petty larcenies are a Class A misdemeanor. It allows judges to plea those cases out over our objection at arraignments, with the defendant not having spent a single day in jail. It requires the police department, beyond their control because of the bail reform legislation, to give desk appearance tickets to these individuals, meaning they don't even see a judge for 20 days after their arrest. What the district attorney did in creating this program is now allows us to have the leverage to charge these individuals with Class D felonies, burglary, instead of petty larceny, which gives us a lot of leverage, both in keeping the defendants in, getting them the mental health services they require if that's necessary, giving them drug services if necessary, or frankly, for the people who are simply thieves who deserve to be in jail, giving them enhanced jail sentences. Here in Astoria, I will tell you again, thanks to many of the people in the room, and I don't know if Marie left or not because she was instrumental when we rolled this program out originally. The 114 precinct has been very active with this program under the leadership of Inspector Gorman. 32 stores in this community have registered for the program to date. 54 individuals have been served with trespass notices. Only 2 individuals have returned to the stores in this neighborhood after being served with those trespass notices. Now, one of those individuals has come back 3 times and been rearrested and charged with a felony all 3 times. But as the sergeant and the officer will tell you, this program has given us the ability to incarcerate that individual for lengthy amounts of time that weren't previously available before this program. Again, the goal of the program is not to incarcerate more people. The goal of the program is to send a message that our store owners should feel safe in their stores, their employees should feel safe in their workplace, and our customers should feel safe while patronizing the stores of Queens County. That, in a nutshell, is District Attorney Katz's Queens Merchants Business Improvement Program. It was highlighted by the mayor a few months ago at the Mayor's Retail Theft Summit, and it is in the process of actually being replicated in the other boroughs because of its success and because of the national notoriety that the program has received. So I'm going to turn it over to the sergeant and to Officer Tovar, and then I'll answer whatever questions you have. Thank you very much.
How's everyone doing? My name is Sergeant Gomez from the 114 Precinct. Like Josh said, the program has helped. A lot of these repeat offenders have not gone back to the same location again to shoplift after being served and warned that if they go back, is automatically arrest. If anyone here is a business owner, if they want to sign up, just see me or Officer Torvard and we'll help you sign up to the program.
Did a great job explaining it.
Thank you. Questions?
Related or, now that the Supreme Court has overturned this open carry law that people could carry weapons, the one thing that they still made illegal as of last year when I was researching it was people carrying tasers or getting tasers. And it's up to the individual DA of each borough, county to make that decision. Well, that's what I found last year. Maybe things have changed. And I would feel safer having a taser to protect me than a gun. So is it legal for me to carry a taser or to have one in my house? In other states, Virginia, Pennsylvania, you walk right in, you buy them, you could keep them on you. And if the Supreme Court threw it out that you can't stop people from carrying tasers, including store owners and stuff like that, I mean, better to be using a taser than a gun to shoot somebody who's robbing you. So.
Okay, so this is what I'll simply say without giving you legal advice, since I represent the District Attorney of Queens County and only the District Attorney of Queens County. Okay, the answer to your question is the laws that are applicable to us as citizens of the state are passed by the state legislature. That's true of the weapons laws, and that's regrettably true of the bail reform law that we're all trying to combat now. From an experience perspective, I will tell you, particularly as it involves retail theft, store owners who have weapons, regardless of what the weapon is, just as frequently have those weapons used against them than are used against the people who are invading their stores. And the beauty of this program, again, as opposed to having to sit back and wait, as was the case prior to the district attorney initiating this initiative. Prior to this initiative, you'd have to wait for the same people that you knew were in your stores for no reason other than to commit a crime. To commit a crime and then call 911. The beauty of this program is that their mere presence is unlawful. If you're registered with the police department, you call 911, you say you have a trespass notice against this individual. The police department will come and arrest that individual merely for being inside of your store. And the beauty of that is it avoids the unnecessary confrontation between the store owner, the store employee, and the defendant. Again, here in Astoria, we have a very mixed bag of shops. You have the large retailers, and you have the mom and pop shops that are manned by one or two people at a time, and that's it. And that's why we came here before we went borough-wide with this program, because there are so many mom and pop shops where the individuals who are working in those shops, who own those shops for generations and generations, are vulnerable to the people who prey upon them, knowing that they don't have the security that the larger retailers do. But you've also seen the larger retailers leave this borough, leave this city, go bankrupt, all because they can't afford the costs attached to the theft or the additional cost of the additional security. When's the last time you went to CVS, you were able to get toothpaste without asking someone to unlock it? When's the last time you were able to get Tylenol without having someone unlock it? So, okay, so now this is the difference with the program, okay? So under the law, subsequent to the bail reform legislation, okay, petty larceny used to be a bailable offense. Without going too deep into the weeds here, but to answer your question specifically, petty larceny used to be a bailable offense. You committed your second, your third petty larceny. Our office would ask for bail, and presumably the judge would set some level of bail to set a message. In conjunction with the bail reform legislation, the legislature also mandated desk appearance tickets for a substantial number of offenses and almost all misdemeanors, including petty larcenies. And what that meant is until a year ago, when they reformed the legislation and made a slight amendment to it, we had defendants who had 6, 7, 8 petty larcenies with desk appearance tickets that didn't require them to come back for 20 days before they ever saw a judge. And in those 20 days, they'd accumulate another 3, 4, 5 arrests. What this program does again, by transforming petty larcenies when appropriate into burglaries, which are Class D felonies, that defendant is no longer eligible for a desk appearance ticket, goes before a judge, and if bail eligible, can have bail set upon them. Again, one of the worst offenders in this precinct, who we've arrested three times over the past 2 years, has gone away for many, many months. I believe at one point she was gone for 8 months in jail, whereas prior to this initiative, she would have been out in 2 to 3 days. So it's making a difference, but the difference it's really making is, again, as the sergeant indicated, the 295 individuals who got the message, here's your warning. Because it's really very simple, okay? We all know that the larger retailers have always had their loss prevention officers, their store security. And the reason that this program is unique when the district attorney conceived it is because I would submit to you there's a very distinct difference between a loss prevention officer from fill-in-the-blank store, Home Depot, CVS, Rite Aid, telling someone don't come back, as opposed to someone from the New York City Police Department saying to them, here's this notice. The next time I come back here and you're here, you're leaving in handcuffs. And thanks to the good work of your officers from the 114 precinct, this program has worked. And it really has been a tremendous success. Question?
Questions, anybody? Here, you can keep, why don't you keep that mic and I'll.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I've been working in retail for many years now, and I just want to know what effect this is going to have on loss prevention. Because I know in the past, loss prevention was able to hold on to that thief until the cops came. But then all suddenly they said, no, you can't do that. You can't hold on to them. So what effect is this going to have on loss prevention in these retail stores?
So what I will tell you is that we partner with almost every retailer, every major retailer in the city. God bless you. The district attorney is very well represented on the mayor's retail theft committees, subcommittees. Almost every major retailer in this city is represented in one way or another there. This program in no way affects the retailer's ability to detain individuals. The reason the retailers, for the most part, are not detaining individuals as they used to do is because some of those individuals, despite being thieves and criminals, then notwithstanding sued those stores. And the stores just took the position that it's easier to let them leave and absorb the loss than to detain those individuals. That being said, we still have many instances every day. One of the bureaus I oversee is our Intake and Assessment Bureau. Right now, we are prosecuting an individual who's being charged with 2 counts of burglary for violating a trespass notice in the 106 precinct. One of those individuals, was held by the drugstore staff until the police arrived. So there's no part of this program that precludes stores from doing whatever they were previously doing. It just gives the police department an additional tool to send a message to these recidivists that their conduct is going to stop one way or the other. Were there other questions?
Yeah, right here. Hi, my name is Jean, and I know for a fact that the 114, we're understaffed. There's a shortage of police, and it's impossible for them to be everywhere. Now, I love Burlington on 48th Street. I'm going to say 90% of the times when I'm shopping there, they're shoplifters. I go and I report it. And they tell me there's nothing we can do. Management tells us not to do anything because we can't jeopardize ourselves. They don't want us to jeopardize our lives. Now, that's sad. And it's true that you can't touch them. So they walk, I've seen them walk out with all high-end merchandise over their arm, and they boldly just walk right out the door. Now, I'm waiting online with 20 people in front of me to pay.
With your hard-earned money?
Exactly.
Yes,
And not only that, my time to wait online.
100%.
Where these people just walk right out and they don't care. And they know nothing is going to happen to them. And like I said, even if they call the police, you can't have cops sitting in a parking lot waiting. You know,
So-
it's
If it gives you any assurance, what I'll say to you is this, is that law enforcement in 2024 is very different than law enforcement in 1995 when I started my office. And what I will tell you is that the officers and detectives of the 114 are not precluded from arresting someone simply because the defendants are not there at the time that the police arrive. And yes, in the scheme of the shootings, robberies, stabbings, the petty larceny may not be at the top of the priority list. What I will tell you is this, and I oversee all of the district attorney's retail theft initiatives. Every day we prosecute individuals who were able to successfully flee those stores without being apprehended at the time, because Burlington, Home Depot, Macy's, even the mom and pop shops, they all have state-of-the-art video. And these officers and their staff know exactly who the recidivists are in the neighborhood. So using the video surveillance, we prosecute individuals every day for crimes that they thought they got away with. Again, just by way of example, the individual that's being prosecuted by my bureau right now for 2 burglaries and 3 petty larcenies. 4 of those 5 instances, the individual got away before they apprehended them. We're nonetheless able to charge that individual with all 5 crimes because we have her identified on video surveillance from the first 4 instances. The other day, we prosecuted somebody for 14 separate instances. She got away the first 13 times. But by the 14th time when we got her, she wasn't just answering for 1 crime, she was answering for all of them. So I will tell you that, you know, the stores don't advertise whether they're participating or not. I will tell you almost every major retailer in this borough is registered with this program and has had individuals arrested in conjunction with the initiative. Any other
I'm
questions?
very pro law enforcement. In fact, I happen to be the vice president of the 114 Community Council, and I've been working with them for many years, and I have the deepest respect for them. And since working closely with them, my respect has increased to see how hard they do work.
They absolutely do. You should be very, very, very proud of your precinct. Any other questions?
Any other questions? Raise your hand so I can see it. Who's,
You still didn't answer my question about the taser.
Okay, so again, I'm going to say that they're in the same position that I am and that we're not permitted to give legal advice. But we do want to thank you for having us out here. This is our 3rd or 4th time out in Astoria in conjunction with this program. We're happy to come back. And as the sergeant indicated, if you know any businesses, however small, however large, that aren't presently registered with the precinct, please speak to Officer Tovar or to the sergeant after. Thank you very much for having us.